Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here, and today I'm bringing you guys a day in the life of Finchinator. So, what happened was yesterday I had a whole slew of tournament games to play, all of them in SSOU. So I'm just gonna go through my day. I woke up. It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock on a Sunday, and I had to do some work outside. Oh, you guys want to hear about Pokemon? Not. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'll go through the games. Fine, that's fine too. All right. So basically, yes, it was a Sunday. So Sunday, there's Smogon Tour, which for those who don't know is this big prestigious Smogon tournament where it's like a live tour. You sign up Sunday at 2 p.m. And if you guys want information on how to sign up and get involved with these tours, let me know in the comments, and I'll give you guys like basically a tutorial on it. I could do that very easily. But that aside, I signed up at 2, and it's a live tour, so I basically, play, and I think there was initially like 128 people in the tournament, so round 1, you play one of those other 120 you get randomly paired with, then 64, 30, 30, wait, 128, 64, is it like 36, whatever, you know what I mean, it's 36, and like, the 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, yeah, that's, oh my god. I was good at math too. What the fuck is wrong with? Okay, we're doing this in one take, guys. We're doing this in one take. Fuck it. So yeah. In round 1, I got Zio, also known as Zio Trip on Smog Tours. Also after Smog on Tour, I also had to play for Smog on Statecraft, which is an even bigger tournament than Smog on Tour. It's like the big team tournament. Like you guys might know what SPL is, Smog on Premier League is. That's like the biggest at big tours. Smog on Statecraft is basically like number 2, right alongside it. And then after I played for the overused seasonal tournament, I'm in round 8 of that. So, yeah, we got a whole slew of tournament games. I figured instead of bringing like some special tournament or game analysis or team analysis or Pokemon analysis, I'd go like all full circle and I'd bring you guys like the combination of all these things coming together, like actual games. So this is my first game. I'm against Zio Trip, and I'm using a team that was made by my friend ABR. He used it in the official ladder tournament. The idea is that you're able to spread paralysis and item displacement with Clefable. It's knockoff, Thunderwave, Moonblast, and Soft Boiled. And then you could really abuse that with a combination of sub-toxic Aegislash, because you're not going to paralyze things like Mandibuzz and Hippowdon, obviously. You're going to aim to not paralyze them. So you could toxic them, and then can just abuse other things like Clefable and Toxic, so you can paralyze with boosted Shadow Ball, and also sub-roost Kyurem, which is really nicely there. Zeraora is the speed control and also a nice answer to Magnezone. Como is the stealth rock setter. It's also a secondary wicked blow resist. And yeah. So looking at my opponent's team, it's Kyurem. Urshifu, I'm assuming it's going to be Urshifu Rapid on this team actually, because he's got no other fire resist. And also the core of Urshifu Rapid and Kyurem is really common. If you think about it, Urshifu Rapid is able to U-turn against regenerator Pokemon like Tox, Specs, Tangrowth, and Amoonguss and let Kyurem get in. So I'm thinking it's probably Specs Kyurem. But then I noticed his only form of speed control was an Exodrome. So I'm thinking maybe it's actually Boots Kyurem, but it still definitely is like a kind of special attack oriented. I think it was definitely like Freeze Dry sub basically, or Specs, but he just slacked on removal. I'm not sure. And there's definitely a Shifu Rapid. I'm still looking at this team thinking, okay, especially defensive Hippowdon is much more common right now, but he has Blissey and also he has no ground resist, so it probably has to be physically defensive. And given that, I was pretty confident proceeding. I knew the Aegislash would do really well for me here. So, right off the bat, I lead Clef, just trying to spread item displacement Nox. Thinking, okay, it's probably going to be a Trick or not Clefable, and I don't really mind. But he actually reveals Thunderwave, so we both paralyze each other turn 1. That's fine with me so long he is Urshifu Rapid, because then I've got Man Time to check it. I knock off his Sticky Barb. That means he's going to Trick in the following turn probably, but he goes Drill instead. I was just Moonblasting, that's fine. I'm going to probably just go Hard Clef into his Clef every single time, so he could just Trick and I could knock it off from there. But anyway, I go Como, a bit of a aggressive play. I don't want to let Manton get toxic yet, and also Como getting Rocks up is important here because it might not be Boots Kyurem after all. I'm not sure. But yeah, I get the Rocks, he goes Clef. I go right back to my own Clef as I said, and he gets Powered. I assume he went for Trick, but he could have went for Moonblast. Either way, unfortunate for him, but I get another Moonblast off here, get a drop. He used for Trick, so yeah. I'm like, okay, now that I got the Moonblast damage off, I could probably just knock him off here, and I do get that. So now we're both without leftovers. It's fine, but I do have to be careful switching an Aegislash. So we go Aegislash on a Trick, that's really annoying. We both paralyze here, and then I get a Moonblast off. That's 29%. He paralyzed. I think at this point I'm comfortable going Aegislash. I know he's not going to Trick. He's going to go for Soft Boiled. That's great. Now I get a sub up, and he goes Drill. And I'm sub, Toxic, King Shield, and Shadow Ball, which is good because I could get a Shadow Ball up here for like 55, 60. Then I could King Shield and get back into normal form. And Earthquake's a favorable roll for me. B, he probably is going to rapid spin predicting the switch, so it'll put him -1 and it'll put him into a KO range. Just Shadow Ball to 60. So yeah, I didn't low roll, so I 2 KO always. And yeah, he spins there, so he gets to -1 attack. And I'm in the driver's seat now because I comfortably live Earthquake. And I'd even be able to live Earthquake plus a freeze drive from Kiram if need be at that point. So yeah, he goes to Powdon, and I Shadow Ball here. And I figured it was physically defensive, but this roll indicates he might be like really physically defensive. And I didn't really want to risk that though. So I just clicked sub, like, okay, what's the worst case thing that happens? Maybe he slacks off and then I can just Toxic him. But he actually goes to Shifu regular. And that baffles me because why would he not have a fire resist? Or like a way to revenge kill a couple things like drill that he's really weak to with Aqua Jet. So whatever. I get a Shadow Ball for like 40. I figure between sand and rocks and that damage it's enough to put him into a kill range anyway. So it's fine with that. He Wicked Blows into my Como. I didn't want to risk a Paralyzed Clefable there. I just go for the safe body press in the Clef, and I go back to my own Clef as he goes drill. Really nice play there by Zio Trip. I'm not sure if Zio or Zio Trip is technically correct, but yeah, I go Como on the spin there, and he took really nice advantage of my kind of obvious plays there, so it's great. But I get rocks back up here as I get back to 61, and now I'm predicting him to go for Moonblast or Trick. He goes Trick, predicting the Aegislash. I'm like, fine, Clefable is a safe play anyway. He goes Drill here, and I go for Moonblast. I just want to chip this down. He's now below half, which is cool, and I go Mantine here. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He goes Swords Dance, though, predicting me to go Como Woe because Earthquake +2 is a roll to kill. And also, he weakens me. That makes Wicked Blow a lot easier to spam because it's Paralyzed Clefable. So it made some sense. But now, I guess I scared him out. And he takes Rocks with Kiram. So not only do I force him out without him getting a spin off, but also he takes Rocks in the Kiram. And then an 11% Scald. No burn. But that means he's Spec. So I go Aegislash. And yeah, he does 47, which is a high roll from Draco if he's timid. Low roll, mid roll if he's modest. But that's fine. I don't need to know that. Either way, I know that I'm safe to just go for an attack here, so I go for the Shadow Ball, and actually take out the Powdon, so that's great for Zero Aura, which now looks very threatening with the Paralyzed Clefable being the main counterplay. He now goes to Drill here. I think he's going to go for the Swords Dance or an Earthquake, predicting some nonsense, so I don't even bother going King Shield. I just go Hard Mantine, which works out for me. And now he goes Spin, and yes, he might have predicted me to over-predict and double out, but I just go for the Scald, I take him out there, and now I'm up 6-4 at this point. He goes back to Kiram, and I think at this point, since I know he's not Urshifu Rapid, and rocks are off the field for good, and Drill's dead, I'm fine just firing Mantine to see what he locks into. He does lock into Freeze Dry, doesn't overpredict, because I could have lived the Draco at that point. I could have lived the Ice Beam at that point. And at this point, he's like, wow, Aegislash completely decimates me. And so does Zero Aura. And if you look at it, yeah, this might be into a kill range of Clefable, and also it's paralyzed, and it can't really 2-kill me. Urshifu's not doing crap when I've got Como plus Clef and a faster Zero Aura at full health. Kiram is now in Zero Aura range, and also it can't really 2-kill Aegislash. And honestly, also Aegislash kind of just wins the game once I get any attack or damage on Urshifu, as it doesn't have no infiltrator Pokemon, no Pokemon like Live Hit and Break the Sub, etc. So yeah, I obviously beats Paralyzed Clef. Blissey can't touch it, and I'm subtoxic. So yeah, the game was over at this point, and he just forfeited. I think he should have played it out a little longer, but it was like a 99.9% chance to win. I mean, what would have happened is I would have had to choke with Aegislash, and then I would have had to get hacked. My Clefable probably would have had to get paralyzed once, and then he would have had to avoid paralysis probably 10 or 15 times in order for Clefable to beat the Zero Aura at a healthy enough point to where it could still withstand Shadow Balls and then like never get. I don't think it was possible, honestly, especially with Sub-Kiram in the back, which really could have just stalled out all of his Moonblasts easily enough. Yeah, I didn't even have to send that out, and it was probably one of the best Pokemon in this matchup. So overall, I really liked how the team functioned here, and I think I played a solid game. But now we're off to round 2. Round 2, I was against Audrey. Audrey is a player who played in SPL and World Cup in the past, I believe. I don't think he's in Smilegun State Draft, but overall he's a solid player for sure. He actually won some games with some really creative teams in SPL, and I knew I'd have my hands full here. This time around, I wanted to bring the same team just so I was really comfortable with it. I liked how Kiram did against some of the teams I saw in my very brief attempt to scout him between rounds. I mean, like, I literally had like 90 seconds between when he challenged me and when I accepted, basically. So yeah, I just want to keep it simple. There's this saying that I go for in Smogtour, keep it simple, stupid, KISS, KISS. It's basically how I do it. I see something that looks good. I don't overthink it. I don't try and find the perfect team because that's not possible in a live tour setting. I just go with what's working. And this was working. So yeah, I went with this again. And he brought a rain team right off the bat. I'm like, okay, definitely a Shifu Rapid. I figured it'd be Bandit or Shifu Rapid and probably a special variant of Zero Aura with Thunder. I figured it might be if it's defog Pelipper, then it's probably going to be bulk up Corviknight, which actually could be really annoying. I've seen that on Random Ladder a couple times, but it turned out to be Specs Pelipper and defog Corviknight, which also makes sense because it generates momentum with U-turn. But honestly, it really didn't affect how I played much either way, and you'll see why in a minute. But yeah, let's get into the game here. So right off the bat, he leads Clef, I lead Como, and I want to get the hell out of there because I'm scared of Moonblast and Trick and whatnot. He just goes Rocks. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I go Clefable. I could easily get a knock or a Thunder Wave off from this Moongus. Moongus is probably the most annoying Pokemon if it's Toxic because it hits Como all, and Toxic and Moongus is a really bad match for this team. So yeah, he gets the Toxic off there, and I'm like, okay, I know my hands are full here, but he goes Pelipper. I just go for the Rocks here, and I think I actually go Toxic here because at this point I know that Como he's only really there for Zeraora. And I don't think he's going to go for Hurricane when I have an Aegislash. Mantine lives 2 specs easily, but even then I think Hurricane's obviously the best plan of that, and Zeraora. But in hindsight, even if it was regular Hurricane, I would have lived it comfortably, so I got some special defense investment on this. I actually edited ABR CVs quite a bit, but I didn't expect him to be specs at this point, so I was kind of thinking it'd be utility because I think specs Pelipper is sort of inconsistent, but I think I underrated it, and in hindsight, I think this is a turn I regret. I definitely regret this turn. I just went for the Toxic, figuring, okay, but he reveals he specs Hurricane, so at least I have that piece of information in mind. I know every time he locks in a Hurricane, I could do work with Aegislash. So he goes, Pelipper. Now he goes Corviknight here, and I reveal that I'm modest max special attack Shadow Ball, and I'm able to at least take out the Corviknight. So my rocks are actually up to stay, which means that him going to this means that A, I'm in a pretty damn good spot, and B, the Como fighter was worth it. Now, he goes Zeraora instead of a Shifu Rapid, which is fine with me. I get the King Shield off. I actually get -1 knock. In hindsight, I probably could have stayed in here, but now I wanted to just let Clefable lose his item because it was inevitable anyway. And now I figured he'd go for a Volt Switch after he revealed that knock, and I could go for Thunder Wave into a Moongus. I think I went for Thunder Wave. Did I go for Thunder Wave? Yeah, I did. So I got that play right, which is really important. It's getting processed, and it's huge. I go Zeraora, and he gets like paralyzed here, and that kills me. Him getting paralyzed killed me because I really, really wanted to sleep the Zeraora. Because now I have to sleep something else because I don't want to risk taking Sludge Bomb poison. In fact, I go for the Plasma Fist once just trying to catch the Spore, but he gets slightly paralyzed again. I think he's caught onto it at this point, so I go Volt Switch here, and unfortunately he goes Spore again, and I guess he was just fine sporing through and through. So now I lose Aegislash because of those 2 paralysis. So I know I got to wake this thing up as quick as possible, but also doing so lets Pelipper Zeraora come in, and he goes Zeraora, so it's lame. I go back to my own Zeraora, thinking he might Plasma Fist, not knockoff, because I might go Clef, and I catch that, and that's great. Now we both go for knockoff, but this one favors me a bit more, because A, I'm adamant, and B, I get a lucky crit clip there, and I'm actually able to live close combat after this, which is helpful. So I think I go Volt Switch here. Yeah, I go Volt Switch here, predicting a switch into the Zero. It was a really risky play, but it worked out. Now I get Cure him in, and I'm able to really figure out what his Clef is, and it turns out that he's a specially defensive Clef, which I find really bizarre, because like this spread might even be too acute by Wicked Blow, and it's not really much for a Shifu check, and his only Wicked Blow check is, I guess his owner Shifu, because Corv even is physically defensive, which it was, given the Shadow Ball damage, doesn't live 2 either. But I'll take it. He goes for a Wish into himself here. I just sub-debate that and figure out his set, which is fine. And now my Aegislash can heal up a little bit. It's unfortunately stays asleep for what I think was a 3rd turn here. Yeah. So I really, really wanted to get a Toxic off here and Mr. Shifu. That would have been huge. And unfortunately, I don't wake up. So now I'm like way behind in the game at this point. I have to go Mantine here. He goes Surging Strike again. I was like scared he might be go for it to close combat, but he didn't go for it. He didn't want to risk anything. So that worked out for me. I Scald here. Thankfully, I don't burn. This is the one turn I didn't want to burn, so it's like one little piece of luck that favored me there. He doubles the Pelipper here, and he takes Rocks, and I'm like, okay, this is actually fine, because now his Pelipper's low, and if he's not in rain, then at least that makes your Shifu Rapid less threatening. He goes Hurricane here, and it's maxing at like 50 or 51%, I believe. So I'm like, okay, that's fine with me at this 47 and 44. I just can't get confused, and he's got like 2 or 3 turns to confuse me now. So thankfully, he gets high roll there, but he didn't max out quite, so I'm good with this. I'm definitely good with this, and now I'm able to just roost him off, and he lets go to Pelipper completely. Like, I mean, I guess Rocks being up meant that it was on short lifespan anyway, but I think after the first Hurricane or 2nd Hurricane, I would have switched out if I was audrey, but hey, I'll take it. He goes Zeraora, and now I go my own Zeraora again, predicting the electric move, and I got the play right again. So I think I'm playing really well around his Zeraora, which is good because it became a threat once I lost Como with the Zeraora answer, but you know, I knock off again here trying to bait I guess like a switch, but in hindsight that really wasn't worth it. He Sludge Bombs here, and he gets the poison, so I die, but this does let me get Aegislash for free at least, because switching into those Pokemon was annoying. And the Amoonguss in general is really annoying with Toxic. Again, Toxic is really annoying to this team. I Shadow Ball here, and honestly, I A, believe this was a roll, and B, I think he was going to Spore again, and that was fine with me. But if he Giga Drained, while I am sorry, if the Zera Aura was asleep, this would have just subbed up on it all game because he wasn't foul play, and I'm EV to live it. And, it's behind a sub, even if I'm in Blade form. And yeah, but also Giga Drain only had a 25 to 30% chance to kill from this because I've got a lot of HP EVs. So whatever happened, I probably lived. And worst case scenario, I got a little lucky, but at the same time, it's fine. Now he makes a misplay here, and he let throw to Shifu Rapid. Close combat 2 killed Demantine from full, or especially from this range. And it just did a lot of work against this team, I feel. So I don't really understand that, but I'll take it at the same time. So now I'm really in the driver's seat. I don't think I can lose from this point. The rest of the game I'm going to put on fast just because it's a lot of stally stuff, maneuvering. He goes there Aura first, which, okay, I guess. But now it's dead to rocks next time. So yeah, I just go Mantine as fodder. I'm setting up my own Zero Aura. And now I just need to not get hacks with Clefable. He Volt switches, which means he doesn't even give him a chance to crit or whatever. I go for the Moonblast, just thinking, okay. And now I know I can't really lose the game. He could just go Moon. He's got a Moongus and Clefable as the only Pokemon left, basically. Because, so he gets a Spore off here, and I'm fine with that. I can go Ada Slash, and now I can just start slowly gaining health. I see Giga Drain did 10 there, so even from the late form, it's not really doing much more than 20. I know that's technically not an exact combination, but the max damage was 24 and change, so yeah. Now I can just Shadow Ball the Clef, Shadow Ball again, because if he leaves it low, then Kyurem wins the game, but he doesn't bother, so that's fine with me. Now I just subbing up. I'm just trying to waste some Moonblast. Eventually I can get Kyurem in the long haul. That's basically the idea here. And as long as he doesn't get a 5 million turn sleep, I'm fine. Yeah, I just want to let the Clefable sleep every time. Yeah, just chill. I go back to Ada Slash again. He Sludge Bombs. Yeah, it's fine. Shadow Ball, and I can chill the Wish. Yeah, and now we're just doing the same thing in motion. That's why I'm playing on fast, basically. The game's over. I just can't do anything unnecessarily risky. I'm just trying to heal Ada Slash up, yeah, as you see. And now I finally get the Kyurem in as I bait in the Amoonguss. And I would have lived the Moonblast anyway, so now I can just stall out the Moonblast. You see, he only has 13 left now anyway, so yeah, I sub back with Brucing. He's his good game, and forfeits. Yeah, he had 5 Moonblasts left at this point. Once he runs out of Moonblast, I could just sit here, freeze Drill Day, eventually freeze him, or, eventually try and hack spot with Ada Slash. I just had way more PP and you resource him. Keep in mind, Zero always hits rocks, and well, this shows it's live, it's dead. So, yeah, it was a pretty nice win there. I definitely got a little kind of awkwardly unlucky early, but then kind of a lot fortunate later. But again, he wouldn't need a high roll, so I'll take it as it goes. Next up, we're against Poaches. Poaches is a Smogon Tour finalist. He's also made it really far in other tournaments. Overall, I'd say if you want one of the most well-rounded players on Smogon, definitely look Poaches' way. Besides from people like, me, I guess. I play lower tiers, I play OUs, I play old gens. He's up there. I mean, I think he's probably better than me in a lot of tiers, too. I don't know who's better overall, per se, but this man has far and away with the most diverse set of achievements on Smogon, and I think that's really cool. Poaches is just a great player, and my hat's off to him. But this team he brought here is really bad, in my opinion. Wow, that's one way to put it. First off, it has to be Rock Slide Kyurem because he doesn't have a fire resist. First off, so that means I know it's DD plus Rock Slide Kyurem to try and lure Rotom Heat, lure Volcarona, which it does pretty well. But still, you need a fire resist. But also that means that he can't revenge kill the Azumarill with Kyurem. So therefore, Belladrum Azumarill kind of wins once I get any chip in the Magnezone to be sure if it's the defensive set. Shifu Rapid into Lucho looks pretty good if he's not Brave Bird on the Corviknight, but looking at his team, I'm thinking he's Brave Bird on Corviknight because he really wants something to pressure opposing your Shifu because right now he's literally only answer is the Clef. Magnezone, Kyurem, Drill, and obviously Gengar I'll get one-shotted. So yeah, also it gives extra insurance against Rillaboom, which means that he doesn't have to mind the fact that everything he does switching into it normally gets decimated by Superpower or Knockoff. Corviknight's an actual answer with Brave Bird, so yeah. But overall, I'm okay, Volcarona looks amazing here, but I'm scared of rocks like Kyurem. Urshifu, I need to get at least 1 or 2 kills out of to get some nice mileage out of. Or if I don't get 1 or 2 kills, I need to weaken the Clef because that means that I'm able to do really nice work with the Lucha. But Volk is definitely the win condition, and I just want to get as many kills as I can before that. So yeah, right off the bat, I'm fine just leading Volk, and he actually leads with Gengar, and I want to get the hell out of the way here because I'm scared of Trick. I don't want to lose Trick, so I just go Magnezone, he goes Kyurem, that's fine with me. I think he's going to go back to Drill here, so I want to get a Fire move off, so I double the Volk. And again, I got to play this Hyper Offense team really aggressively. He goes Kyurem, and I go for the Fire Dance here. I do 40 once, that means, yeah, he's probably bulky-ish. Yeah, I need leftovers, so that's fine. I go to my Urshifu, and he goes for Icicle Spear, and that reveals, yeah, okay, he's probably the physical set that's chill. So now I just go for bulk up here, and I want to get as many kills as I can get again. So I bulk up here once, and then I bulk up here again, And now I know I live Brave Bird, plus I also know I kill this, even if it's like physically defensive, which I'm assuming is specially defensive in this team. But yeah, no, we'll take it either way, because he's got no Age Plus switch in. So yeah, he fought himself Drill, which means that Magnezone Scarf Volt Switch looks really good at this point in the game, which is amazing. So it's fine. Anything he fought it off would help me. Now I'm scared he's going to be sub Gar, but I don't really want to risk anything. He goes sub here, and this is what it's annoying. See, his set is sub Wisp Nasty Plot Hex, which, like, what? Like, it only has a ghost move. So, like, what if he faces a Blissey with Teleport plus Dragapult? Like, then he gets to sub up, and he can't touch Blissey besides Wisp, but then it teleports and it just infiltrates. And that's a really common combination. So I can't say I understand this set. In general, I'm pretty low on Gengar right now, too, but I guess he wanted to kind of play around status plus Kyurem. So I guess I get it. I think he should have a Fire Resist somewhere in his team, but hey, it's a conceptual build. That's fine. Either way, he actually wins every single 50-50 until the last one. Thankfully, he nasty spots again, and I come with Wicked Blow. So now I know basically what has to happen is I have to chip him with the Magnezone. As you see, Volt Switch is 44. So now I know that he's really bulky too. So I'm just gonna fodder the Rillaboom because I know that he should be in Lucha range because I'm max Animal Lucha still. So yeah, I should be fine there. And thankfully, Hawlucha does in fact take it out, and I'm like chill with that because I'm pretty sure he's not Life Orb Clef on this. I think he's probably Rocks Clef or Swords Dance Drill, but maybe he's Combine Clef or like Trick Clef. I don't know. Regardless, though, he goes Moonblast and I live it. It's not Life Orb, so I get aggro damage there, which is great. And now I'm able to just win the game with Volcarona. And I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna be like Trick Scarf, so I would pretty much win the game with Volcarona anyway at this point, unless it was like Meteor Beam Clef, which there's no way in hell he was. So yeah, I get the Fiery Dance off here, and even if I didn't get the special attack raise, Bug Buzz was a favorable roll to kill, because if this is Duke 41, Bug Buzz is like 5-10 base power stronger, I believe. So would have killed it, but I get the Fiery Dance off anyway. I take that out, and that's the game, because I can just spam Fiery Dance for the win. Everything dies to it, of course. It's a really offensive Volcarona, so yeah, there was no way Corviknight was living, even if it was only +1. Would have died, and I take it to Clef, and that's that. So yeah, I'm gonna win the game here. He wasn't even Scarf Zone or anything, which I didn't expect him to be. But yeah, his team was kind of slow. His team was really weak to fire, and Volcarona exposed that. So yeah, use Fire Resist unless you want to lose to Golden Volcarona. All right, now I'm on to round 4, and I'm against Exon Raptor, which, while Poaches is a really great versatile player, Exon Raptor is probably even better at tiers like SS and SMOU, in the sense that he's been really good. He's had some super dominant performances over the last year or two, and I knew he was going to be great. So I had my handful here. I actually used a variant of a team that my teammate Behe used in the Smogon Snake Draft. Basically, the idea behind it was that he wanted to use, it was his build he wanted to use some really cool stuff like Future Sight into Urshifu, but the team was weak to Combine Clefable, so the idea was teleport into Choice Band Aegislash. Means that they combined up, they're like, oh, I live Flash Can, but no, if you're Choice Band, you get a kill with Iron Head, and that, like, they don't expect that, so it's really cool. Also, on top of that, you're able to use Scarf or Shifu in this build, which is a really underrated set with Future Sight, I feel, because you still get 2 KOs, and unless you use a Revenge Cloud, it's not like Dragapult or Zero or Hippowdon or X-Drill and Sand, so it really opens up team building a lot. And yeah, I made it Slowbro over Slowking because I was scared of Rhyperior, because Rotom, he kind of enables Rhyperior, and that actually paid off here because I could switch into Stunage easily and scout it out. Ferrothorn's there, it shuts down Amoonguss and Primarina, which is super cool. And then I have Clefable as well, Stealth Rock Knock with speed for Choice Band Rhyperior, which helpful. If you guys notice, Choice Band Rhyperior is super common in the metagame right now, so yeah, but anyway, looking at Raptor's team, he's got some really good Pokemon, but I think my matchup's pretty decent. Spikes look really nice because both my Hazard setters beat Mandibuzz, which is my main gripe about Defog Mandibuzz in this current metagame, why I prefer Corviknight. Combine Primarina isn't going to be able to sweep me so long as I don't let Ferrothorn take too much damage, but even if I do, I can pressure it between Hazards and also faster Pokemon that can break the sub, like Urshifu, potentially Aegislash is the max speed Aegislash, and the Rotom as well. On top of that, I don't really mind Amoonguss at all. I'm mainly worried about what the Jirachi set might be. I feel like it might be some crappy offensive set that can really decimate me. And also, I gotta figure out what the Clef is. If it's Rocks on Rhyperior, it could be like any kind of Combine Clef. They gotta play it Aegislash well. Or if it's Choice Band Rhyperior, I gotta play the Slowbro really smart. So let's see what happens here. Right off the bat, I'm leading Clef. I just want to get Rocks up before Knock. He loses Primarina, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll go Rocks, so you have Ferrothorn. It'll give him one more chance to Scald Fish for a burn if he goes for it. And he goes for the subs, yeah, it basically gives him a chance to Scald Fish. He could have went Hard Scald, but he did Ease Prediction. He Scalds right here. He does get a crit, he doesn't get the burn, so I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that trade, as long as it's not a burn. And I do hit the Power Whip, so that works for me. he actually had bullets in his variant, but I think I like power up a little more just for more damage. And when I go knock here, predicting a switch, I catch that clef, and at this point I get greedy. I'm like, okay, I don't think he's gonna be flame clef, and if he is, he's not gonna go for it here, but he goes for it. Leaves me at 12. I get a thunder wave off though, so not all hope is lost because this opens up the game for a Shifu a ton. I go Slowbro, so he goes rocks. I'm like, okay, this is a problem because now my Pharaoh is at 18% with rocks. If I go Future Sight, I figure he's not going to spoil here because Pharaoh Thorn, so I Future Sight and then I teleport into a Shifu. And at this point, he doesn't know if I'm Scarf or from Band or what, so I just go U-turn. He actually was like, okay, I'm fine dying, but he goes for the Sludge Bomb trying to get some damage off of me, but now I U-turn to Pharaoh, and that's cool because I get leftovers with Pharaoh, and I get rocks, and I can stand here, he can't kill me. So I get spikes up here, and he takes a ton of damage that's not easily negated because Amanda buzzes the defogger, and Gino doesn't do super well here. I can Rotom Heat here, and I think now I'm safe to get a Toxic off. I think he's definitely going to go for defog, and that's fine with me. I can't remember what I do here. I think I predict the Rhyperior here. I go Urshifu, but he goes Rhyperior, but he's not scared because he knows I'm Scarf because A, to U-turn damage, and B, his game. So, he actually reveals Swords Dance here, so I'm like, okay, that's actually fine. Scald probably rolled a kill at worst. And on top of that, if he gets burnt, that's great for me. And thankfully, while I don't get the roll, I do get the burn. I don't know what the roll was. I don't know what the spread was, but we'll take that any day of the week. I don't have any special attack, but yeah, now I can go Clef. I know I'm quicker. He goes Rock Blast, predicting the Rotom Heat, which is a good play on his part. It was the right play. He gets 3 hits. Yeah, it's fine. Technically speaking, I would have lived that and outrun this anyway and killed it because without the burn, I still live that, as you see, but that helps me a ton. Now he gets paralyzed here. I don't think he went for Moonblast, but either way I would have lived Moonblast. I'm just trying to regen out. I think he probably went for the Stealth Rock there. And yeah, now I get this Aegislash back in, and he just fires off the Rhyperior, which is the right play. But now Volt Switch looks free again. That's kind of a trend in these games. If I kill the ground type, then Volt Switch looks great. He goes Mana Buzz. I'm fairly certain he's going to U-turn, but I don't want to risk anything. He goes Primarina. I wish I just clicked Iron Head again there. I had it clicked initially, but I canceled it. But that's fine. Rotom, he could just go for Volt Switch here. He wisely goes to a Moongeist to take the Volt Switch, but now I can get Ferrothorn in and get my spikes back up, and now I feel like I'm really in the driver's seat. Ferrothorn's actually going to be able to live a couple Scalds at this point as well, so long as they don't crit. He goes Foul Play, though, and I'm actually okay with that, because I get a spike up, and if this Amoonguss is gone, then all of a sudden Urshifu looks better, and Volt Switch is even more spammable, and yeah, so I'm able to take this out, and now I'm up 6-4 against Raptor. He goes Clef, and I'm fine. Just go Rotom Heat. I know he's not Calm Mind, so he can't threaten me. He goes Flame here, and I just go Overheat, just trying to, bait a softball, but he actually predicts that and goes for a softball of his own, which is a really smart play. Now I just go for the Volt Switch here, and I'm fine just going Slowbro, and again, he can't kill me with Moonblast. He goes Flame, though, so yeah, even better for me. As I'm able to, get a free Regenerator off, I go to Rotom Heat now, and I basically have my whole team besides Ferrothorn healthy at this point, so yeah, I feel really good about this position. I go Volt here into Clefable, and it's fine. I'm recovering from leftovers. He's already knocked, I think, though. Yeah, so it's chill with me. I'm trying to Moonblast to gain a little health here. I Moonblast again. I'd like to get a drop that let Aegislash come in freely. We both Moonblast here. No one drops, I believe. And now I go Aegislash freaking using a softball here. And he paralyzes, so it's even better for me. And now I'm just fine going for the... I think I go Iron Head here. Yeah, I go Iron Head here. I do 44, but I'm not sure if he's quicker or not. I don't want to risk any crap. So I go Rotom Heat here. Just again, Volt Switch looks great against the team. He goes Defog, and at this point I'm like, okay, that's fine. I should be able to get Hazards back up eventually. He goes Clef. And that's like, okay, chill with me, because I could go right back to Aegislash and threaten with Iron Head. I should go Shadow Claw here, because what that does is it threatens the Jirachi switching on Iron Head. He goes Manda Buzz, though, so I go Pharaoh, and he goes Jirachi here. And I'm like, okay, I don't let the Help, but I want to knock it off as quick as possible. He goes Cosmic Power. I knock it off, and this man got the Mega Boost with that weakest policy. I'm like, oh, shit. I go hard Aegislash, and I know at this point I got Stored Power as a roll, but I just want to get sneak damage to put it in Wicked Blow range, and I don't want to let him get like a sub-up or any crap like that, so I do that, and yeah, I'm fine with him taking me out at this point. I should be able to suffocate the Primarina. So I get a Wicked Blow off, and honestly, at this point, I could just spam Wicked Blow on the Primarina. It's not like going to be able to win the game. It needs like +2 or +3 to kill Pharaoh, but I actually go Pharaoh, and actually I think this is probably the right play, actually, at hindsight, so this is fine. He scalds, and even if he burns, I still break sub. I just need to hit my power whip once or twice, and yeah, I'm in the drive. At this point, I can't lose. Basically, even if for some reason he like dodged a couple whips, so long as he doesn't like calm mind up on those whips, I'm fine. As Rotom can keep breaking subs, as can Urshifu, and yeah, I hit there, good game. It's a wrap, so I'm able to advance to now. I'm in round 5, I believe. Yeah, I'm in round 5 at this point, and I'm against Enzodong, also known as Tricking. Tricking's probably one of, if not the best SS player behind like Empo, maybe ABR. He's had amazing success in every tournament. He does well in SPL. He does really well in World Cup. His team won World Cup. He's crushed it in Smogtour regular season before. He's done well in OLT before. He's done really, really well in Grand Slam, even Classic. Tricking basically has rounded out to be one of the most unconventional but effective players ever. He's easily in my top 25 all time now, I'd say. He's just that good. Individual success, team tour success. Yeah, he's just amazing. He brings some really weird teams, though, I'll tell you what. He's quirky, and I think that's really why he did so well against me. He's beaten me in SPL twice. He's beaten me in Smilegon State Drafts once. So I got kind of lucky there, but that's neither here nor there. He's a really great player. He's kind of my kryptonite, though. Last time I beat him was in Hispanic Premier League in 2015 or 2016 in the Black-White game. He's beat me in 3 officials since then, so I knew this was my nemesis. When I got him, I was like, no, not tricking. But I knew I wanted to make it a kind of short game so nonsense wouldn't come into play. And thankfully, he used a hyper offensive team as I used one. And I kind of like the hyper offense on hyper offensive match, but I felt pretty good here. So, yeah. Right off the bat, again, I'm using the same hyper offense team I used earlier. He's using a variant of the Little Pig team with the Slowbro-Galar, Dreadigon, kind of like paralysis, flinch crap, quick claw. I was like, okay, fuck you. Right off the bat, he loses Dreadigon. He actually has the wrong ability. He's not Moldbreak, he's Rough Skin, which actually helps him here because I don't have anything to deter Rock Center up. So he lives to play rough. It was fine. I figured it might be a roll, but it's chill with me. And he goes for the glare. And now I'm like, okay, this is chill. I go Jet, and I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, he just kills me with Sludge Bomb, and it's fine because now I can get the Urshifu in, and I'm able to really do some work here. He goes Dreadigon, fires it off, so I'm fine with that trade. Maybe I'm a little behind, so I took the damage, and he gets some momentum here. He goes Urshifu Rapid Strike, but I'm totally chill with this, so I could just go Rillaboom. I figure worst case scenario, he goes Close Combat, and I should live it, because I don't think it's close. I don't think it's Choice Band on this team, and yet it reveals not to be, so he actually goes Slowbro-Galar, and I crit the Grassy Glide, and honestly, any damage on this would have been huge, but the crit puts it into a KO range, so that's especially helpful for me. And now I'm able to force 2 KO on it, so he switches out. He goes to Dragapult, which takes another 53%, and yeah, since he's leftovers, it's a roll in his favor for it. So I want to go out here. I think I go out to Magnezone, or I go out to Volcarona, okay, and I go for the Psychic thinking he's not going to lock in Aqua Jet, and I think I get a roll there as well, which favored me, but I think Hawlucha had a pretty decent chance of winning at this point, thankfully. Or, well, it lived 2 shards with Terrain, so yeah, anyway, he goes Dragon Darts, I get Quiver Dance up, and that's great. I get Side Cuff here, so now the only way he has to win is to get a Quick Claw, and he gets it, which is fine with me. I think he might have been a roll too, but I don't really care, because at this point I think I just win the game anyway. I get the Grassy Glide up there, and look how weak this Weavile is. Like, if it doesn't kill this from 48, it's definitely not going to 2-KO a +1 Hawlucha. That's what I'm saying. I think I was winning with Lucha anyway. So yeah, Ice Shard, it doesn't take me out there. Grassy Glide take this out, and I kind of just win the game from there. Yeah, so overall, I'm happy with this. Scarf Magnezone would have picked some kills off as well and lived a +2 from Cloyster. And Hawlucha did work in Terrain as well. See, I was feeling really good about this game, this position. The matchup was solid, and I just played my hand right in a 15-turn win, so that's what you want to see. Now I'm in the semifinals against Dancock, and at this point, I'm using the same team from before. Again, I just felt comfortable putting in it because I wasn't as familiar with Dancock, so I figured, okay, consistency I'll go with here. Right off the bat, Healer's Urshifu as I lead Clef. His team is a bit of a bulky team. I've actually used a similar team before. It's Magnezone, Skarmory, Blissey, Dragapult, Clef. He's Urshifu last. I've actually used a couple things last, such as Rillaboom and Urshifu Rapid, so I'll have to wait and see if it's the same or it's different or what. It's a sample team. I didn't build Urshifu variant, though. Anyway, long story short, I displace his item and paralyze him, and he tricks me, and I displace his item again. I go Aegislash trying to abuse it. He goes Volt Switch, so I go Zero Aura. And I'm like, wow, Zero Aura looks amazing with the Clef Weekend, and I guess he predicted me not to predict Clef here and try and go for like a close combat or a knockoff. So he goes Clef in the middle, take it out, and I'm like, wow, I am so in the driver's seat here. But at this point, I kind of actually got preoccupied for a second. As I was watching a football game, my Steelers were just finishing up their win for the week. And he not only makes me play here, which Como was my play regardless, but also he outplays me for a majority of the next probably 20 or 30 turns. And that was just good on him. Close combat into Como then. I predict him to go for Flash Cannon here, and he volts into Aegislash, which is huge, as he can go Blissey, and I can't do crap to it. And he's got Infiltrator to teleport into, so yeah, I can't even sub up. And overall, well-played sequence there by Dancock, and he probably gets... Yeah, like I should never have won Clef here. For example, I should have probably won Mantine and just clicked Defog as I killed his rocker. Letting Clef get paralyzed for nothing sucked though, but anyway, he also gets to Flash Cannon off there into Zero Aura, which is bad, and I know he could live a close combat, so I just go Volt Switch here and I go into my Mantine, so I could at least get the Defog off here. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to stop getting completely demolished with the plays. So I get a Defog off here, he goes Dragapult, I'm fine with that. I figure he'll go for the U-turn of Dragon Dart, so I go Clef. he goes Magnezone here, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't need Aegis Slash this game anyway. So I'm able to tank the Flash Cannon, I guess, which helps. And now I can potentially threaten him. I get Mantine. I'm like, okay, this probably isn't Toxic Scarm. I think he needs Brave Bird for Rillaboom. So like Scald, I get the burn. He goes Spikes. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is fine. I think I win the game anyway at this point now. Magnezone comes in here. I get a defog off. It's fine. I think I just fired off Aegis Slash again. And this Magnezone is a big problem in my team though, especially with the damage on Como. I think it Specs Analytics. Yeah, at this point though, Como looks pretty good against him. I go Rocks here, and now I'm like, okay. I think he's not going to go Darts. I think he's going to go Hex or Thunder. But he goes Darts into the Mantine. Great play there by him. And now I'm in a troublesome spot. I go back to Como as fodder. He goes Hex. And now he makes a misplay here. Instead of just taking the kill in front of him, he goes for Hex again, predicting the Clef. And I get a Toxic off on this. And that's huge. And now I guess like scared of the Clef because he thinks I could live too. Because he's plus speed on this, I believe. That's why, from the rolls, I can tell. He goes U-turn. He goes Scarm, and I get a Flamethrower off. And that was kind of just like a shot in the dark play, but it really worked in my favor here. So now I'm in a great spot. He goes back to Pult. I'm like, okay, I'm fine just firing off the Como now. Like, really, I am. And now I go Cure him because I know I live with Darts from full easily. So he has to go U-turn, and even that barely would put me in Darts range, by the way. He goes Blissey here. I go Freeze Drive, figuring, okay, that has a better chance of killing the Dragapult from this range, because if I get 2 hits and I'm not able to kill it, he just teleports into Shifu. I go Clef here as he goes Sucker Punch. I know he's locked into Sucker Punch, so now I double back into Zeraora, knowing I'm above 100 HP, and I can close combat this Blissey, because I know he's locked into Sucker Punch, so I wish I could just switch back and forth. And he sides me, tosses there, and I leave him weak, and that's amazing for Cure him, because now 3 Icicle Spear hits kill him. He goes to Magnezone, and that means I can take that out, and that means this is finally dead. Oh my god, thank goodness. And yeah, I feel like my aggressive plays around near Shifu really worked wonders there. Now he goes to his owner Shifu, and I'm fine just firing off Mantine, but he actually locks into Sucker Punch again, but he now predicts me to go Zeraora, and he knows him 4 attacks. I think I revealed all, like 3 of them, and the other one's obviously knocked. So yeah, at this point, I go Cure him as a mid-ground here, and he goes Blissey, and I'm like, okay, I just need to get 2 hits, and I'm fine. 3 hits, and I'm fine. I actually get 2 hits, though, and not even high rolls, and he's soft. I'm like, oh, God, this is annoying. But now I get 1, 2, 3, 4 with a crit. 5 would have done as well. So I'm like, okay, it works for me. And not really how we drew it up, but I'll take it. Now I just fought off Mantine, and I don't think I could lose the game here. I'm also getting some chip on him, but also like Dragon Darts from here is a roll, and on top of that, I can switch back and forth. And on top of that, Hex isn't always going to 2-kill my special defense invested Fable, and I'm still not sure if he's timid with like just creeping Zeraora because I have some speed. I don't know what the spread is basically. And now he feels to be adamant on Yoshifu, so I know I could just roost off stuff. And yeah, eventually I'm like, okay, well, Freeze Dry doesn't kill because I'm not special attack invest, but I've got attack investments. So I figure if I get 4 Icicle Crash hits, I'm able to kill him. But unfortunately, while I only do get 2, that does put him in range for Plasma Fist, which is cool. And yeah, maybe I should take him out the Volt Switch at that point. Yeah, Volt Switch. And at this point, Hex, it just doesn't Flood Paralyze me, or it doesn't 2-kill me, and I'm fine. Because I'm able to live the sec, I get Flood Paralyzed first, and yeah, that's it. So I'm able to win that, which is cool. So yeah, I'm able to win that. And yeah, now I'm able to advance to the finals. 1 second, guys. Just gotta load up the replay in the back. And yeah. Okay, now in the finals, I'm against Giannis. No, not the basketball player, the actual Pokemon player. His name is like Antetokounmpo. It's basically a play on Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know why I said it like that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, sorry for those like 30 seconds. I was just like responding to my phone, but anyway, he's a really good player. He qualified for OLT. He had a nice run in the OST. He's just a really solid, underrated player. I'm really excited to see this guy in like team tournaments or something in the future. I think he's gonna be great. I hope he sticks around. Big fan of his, honestly. It's like he's beaten me on the ladder a couple times as well. But anyway, his team's solid. Is Magnezone, Clefable, Ferrothorn, Rhyperior, Mandibuzz, Dragapult. I just bring up the same team, the team I mentioned from Bihi before. Looking at it, I think I've got a pretty decent matchup. Thankfully against Slowbro and Rhyperior, I'm glad I made that change. But Urshifu with Future Sight looks great. I think I could pick off a Combine Clefable with Iron Head Aegislash here. I think it's either Roxanne or a Pharaoh, so yeah, I think it's Combine Clef. And Magnezone, I don't really hate. I think Pharaoh plus Rotom, he's pretty good against it for not having Electric Immune, and B, I don't let it in a ton either. It's just Clef. So I think I can outplay this. The main issue is Dragapult. I gotta be careful against Dragapult, but I do have a Scarf for Shifu for that. But he probably knows this at this point, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is for the finals of Smogon Tour. I'm already at 9 points for today. I'm trying to get up to 11. He loses Magnezone, and I guess he doesn't want to reveal his Scarf yet. It turned out later to be Scarf, but I get a Toxic off into Clef. He doesn't go right here. Great play there. I mean, now he goes Rocks. I'm like, okay, I'll go for my Rocks here. So he goes back to Zone. And now he reveals his Scarf with his Volt Switch damage, doing literally nothing. Like that did 16. So yeah, Specs would have done like 25, 30. Athletic could have done almost 40, honestly. So he goes right here. I'm like, okay, it might be he crashed. He's not revealing leftovers, so looks like he's Choice Band there, yeah. He has Earthquake, so I'm fine. I just gotta go back to Rotom Heat. That's chill with me. Now he goes U-turn here, and I think I just go for the Volt. No, I go Toxic and try and hit the Rhyperior. Yeah, he's not playing me at this point. I go Clef on Clef at this point. He doubles Rhyperior now, predicting the Volt. And I'm like, okay, I'm quicker than this. I'm gonna go for the knock. I don't think he's gonna Heavy Slam. I think he's gonna Earthquake again. And thankfully I get that right. Earthquake still does 53, which is just ridiculous. Now I go Slowbro though, and I can tank any 2 hits, which is great. As you see, Earthquake only does 37, so unless he's Stoner's crits, I'm fine. Or he's Mega Horn. They never run Mega Horn, so I'm gonna slack that off. And now I'm able to get Rotom Heat in, and at this point he reveals his Scarf again from that damage. I'm like, yeah, okay, so it's Scarf Zone. Or it's like some weird pivot set, like AV or some crap. He goes U-turn here with Pult. He goes back to Clef. I think I actually Pain Split here. Yeah. He brings Clef in. I get the Volt off there, knowing he's not going to go to the Rhyperior, but also Rhyperior is less threatening without Band. So now I'm able to get my Clef back in, and he reveals me Stealth Rock plus Calm Mind, so it kind of was right, kind of was wrong. He is Life Orb after all, so yeah. I'm able to knock that off, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine softballing up here. I think he's just going to Calm Mind up because he thinks he could win the game, but I have the Aegis Slash, and he's not Flame. I know he's Mono Clef, so he's like, okay, I can live Flash Cannon, I can beat this easy, but I revealed the choice for an Iron Head, which he didn't scout for, and I can't blame him, and that's a wrap, so thank God for that. Now I feel like I really can't lose this game. I go Rotom, just I know I'm good against both status moves, and that's one of the great parts of Rotom. It's immune to both status. Yeah, he goes Darts here. I think I don't just go for the Toxic, and that's great. I'm able to live a follow-up Darts as well. He goes U-turn. I'm able to just Pain Split here. I think I Pain Split here. That's the right play anyway. Yeah, I go for the Pain Split, so I heal up a little bit. I'm back to 64, which is cool. I go Urshifu here, figuring, okay, worst case scenario, he goes for an offensive move, and I can really pose a threat to his team. I think I bait in the Mana Buzz here, and do I go U-turn? U-turn was the play. Yeah, I go U-turn here. That lets me get Clef in. Clef can potentially cripple this. He has to go U-turn now, and he goes back to the Pharaoh. Getting a knockoff on the Pharaoh is huge here. And now I'm basically able to make it a really short game, because I could go Pharaoh on Pharaoh. I'm fine with him knocking me, because I've already knocked him. And we can just both set up spikes, and that limits his ability to get Magnezone in, limits his ability to get a Dragapult. And I have boots on my Slowbro, boots on my Rotom, so I'm fine with this trade here. I get Spike up, he went Spikes up, so yeah, now I'm fine just trading. I get Thunder Wave off on him just so I don't have to deal with any nonsense. And I figure he's going to go for the third Spike, but he actually goes Rhyperior here as I go Rotom, which is a great play on his end. Now I go Slowbro knowing I live 2. He goes Earthquake. I'm like, okay, it's fine. He goes Zone here. Do I Slack or Teleport? I think I Teleport, right? No, I Scald, and that's fine, so I do get damage on him. I get a nice 40% off, but now I go Rotom Heat here. And he goes Volt, and now I'm annoyed because I'm a little close to being in Dragon Darts range, and I do have Clef at fall, but he actually goes for the Thunder Wave, calling the Clef, and now I know I can actually technically get hacks to lose the game, but like I'm still in the driver's seat. But that was a really great Thunder Wave there by him. At this point I said nice, it was a good read by him, and he's like, yeah, you'd probably still win though. I forgot CBA was even a set. And I'm like, yeah, I'm favored, but it gives you an outside shot. Got a little conservative there, and yeah, I should have just Pain Split or just Volted with Rotom Heat there, honestly, but it's fine. Still getting a lot of chip on that Pharaoh. Takes Stealth Rock and Spikes every single time. On top of that, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this position. Spikes are being laid on both sides. I get my third layer off, and he's just like, okay, I'm fine. Just gonna trade Pharaohs at this point. I go Thunder Wave. I don't want to take more damage than I deal out, but he's like, okay, it's fine. It's time. I'm just gonna get as much chip in this as I can. Like, okay, I'll match it once just in case you try to switch. And I'm like, okay, he's not doing that. So he's just going to knock off into me. So I'll just spam Thunder Wave in case I catch any switch, I guess. And he just knocks off. So yeah, Pharaoh and Pharaoh Violence happens. He takes me out with the Dragapult, but that means he's taking another round of poison. But everything else taking damage or his Mandibuzz. So he doesn't want to defog away his own spikes. And yeah, thankfully, he doesn't full power here. So I'm going to take him with Moonblast. And that's pretty much the game. I can't lose from here. He goes Zone. I just fought off for Shifu. Rotom in. Yeah, I can't even die to a crit. So I just Volt Switch, take him out. And I bring in this, and I take that out. Rhyperior would live this, but can't kill me. And, Mandibuzz obviously is not going to beat Clef or this or Rotom, so I'm fine here. So that's that. I won Smogon Tour. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row that I won, which is great. But that's not all there was to it. This is not all. couple hours later, I'm playing for Smogon Snake Draft against JYT Campbell, and he also brought a variant of the Little Pig team with the Slowbro-Galar and the Cloister. He's using lead Mew, though. I actually brought a new team. I had a really cool clef set, which I didn't get to reveal, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep it confidential for now. But it was Rocks on Drill. It was just a nasty plot variant of the Rotom Heat, Spikes Pharaoh, Taunt plus Foul Play Mandibuzz, which is really cool for things like Rhea Nicholas and thwarting potential attempts to defog when I got Spikes, and also great for bulk up Corviknight, and then just a standard defog, not a defog, sorry, standard Thunder Wave kind of pivot variant, the Dragapult. So yeah, I'm looking at his team, I'm like, oh, this is not an ideal matchup. Thankfully, my team had already lost a week. Well, thankfully. I was really, really hoping this game would matter, but now we were 3-6, so I was just trying to make it 4-6 at this point now, like 5-5 or 6-4, 10-game series. So yeah, we were the last game of the series we played last night. Mew, Cloister, Urshifu, figuring it'd be Urshifu single, Slowbro-G, Rillaboom figured it'd be Choice Band, and then Pult. So right off the bat, I'm like, okay, I just want to get the Mew lead out of the way. So I'm just going to lead with Pult and just Hex. Maybe he's scared of the Choice Spec Shadow Ball and gets out of the way, but nah, he's like special defense investor or something. Maybe. So he rocks here, and I get Spikes up, and he lives the second. Hex, which is unfortunate because he gets some Misty Explosion off. So this was a very less than ideal start, as take a lot of damage here. But he goes Cloister, and I'm like, okay, he's going to Shard here, obviously. So I go Rotom Heat, and that's cool, because I could potentially force Paralysis into something, like Dragapult, he goes Pult, and I get that power, which is helpful to me, definitely. I don't think it made a huge difference, but it slowed it down, which is cool. I really wanted to double Discharge there, but he doubles the Cloister. I had it clicked, but then I canceled it, which is annoying, but I'm like, okay. As long as I don't get flinched, it's fine. I negate the Mew. And, yeah, no, he gets the 5 hits in, and I defog. It's worthwhile for me. It's cool for me. He just takes out the Mandibuzz there, and I'm fine. I mean, I would have liked to have it for the potential of a Swords Dance Rillaboom, but he doesn't know that his Rillaboom's quicker than my Rotom Heat yet, so slow Rotom Heat. But yeah, I'll take that. I was able to run slow Rotom Heat because Drill's able to Revenge Kill and outrun Tokus. Speaking of Drill, though, I'm able to bring it in here in a Thunder Wave. He was restricting the Clef for the Pharaoh, I guess, so that's dope. I'm able to get Rocks up now just to threaten everything upon entry. It turns like 2 kills into 1-shots and 3 kills into 2 kills, etc. So yeah, that's helpful. He goes knockoff on his Choice Band. I'm fine with that. I just go for the Pain Split here. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I guess he's probably sub Dragapult. In hindsight, I was scared of U-Turn, but he's leftovers. I really shouldn't have been scared of that. I go to the Drill here as he goes Urshifu. Really great play there by JYT. And now I'm a really defensive Cliff. I'm not going to reveal anything about the set again because I don't want to, but he does 51 here. I'm like, okay, if he's Metronome, which that could mean it's a roll, but I think that the combination of 2 rolls favored me regardless. I'm not really sure, honestly. It did 55, so regardless, I'm able to live that. I'm really bulky. I don't know the rolls. I don't know if he's Adamant or Jolly. I don't know if he's Metronome or not, but we'll take it. Definitely take it. Flinch might have made it favor him, honestly, plus crit odds, but we'll take it. We'll survive that, take out the Urshifu. I think it was not worth it risking for him, but we'll take it again. Discharge off here into Dragapult, 22. He's at like 40. I'm scared of Overheat, so I just go back to Drill here, and he gets, I think he gets Flood Parrot here. No, he Darts here. Okay, that's fine. Darts doesn't do crap, so I just find I'm so scared of him going for U-Turn, going to hard Rillaboom, so I just want to take him out with the Iron Head, and I Iron Head here, do 48, and he goes for Hex. It's fine, he does 26. I'm pretty especially bulky on this team, so yeah. I'm able to take him out with Iron Head now, and unfortunately that means that the train did run out, so now he's able to reset it with the Rillaboom, but I predict him to, oh, he actually goes Cloister. Oh, and I get a flinch here, which helped me, but to be fair, Ferrothorn did live a +2 hit, so I just had to not get flinched. And knockoff would have taken him out of the missed Power Whip, so yeah, I didn't have to risk that. But thankfully I get the flinch here, which is helpful for me. He has a flinch with Ice Shard, ironically enough, which I found to be very funny. But yeah, it was definitely favored me luck-wise. Now I take him out, and I'm in a 4-2 position at this point. He goes Rillaboom, and I'm predicting him to U-turn to try and get the Slowbro in, so I know he didn't want to lock into the Grass move, so I actually get the Iron Head off there, which is great. Now he goes Slowbro-G, so I get some damage off him if he doesn't get the boost in the first turn, which is cool. I think here I just go for the Earthquake just to get as much damage off as I can. Do 45, which is great. Flame. So now I know he's definitely in range for Hex from the Dragapult, and that's my first play, because if I get this kill here, I just win. But he gets the Quick Claw, so okay. Now I go run him Heat, and I know I live any one hit anyway, so it's fine. I can discharge off and out 2 KOs. And at this point, I'm like, okay, please, dear God, just don't give him this time. And he doesn't get it this time, and I'm like, okay, thank goodness. And now, if he goes for Superpower and he knows he's quicker based on the rolls, technically he could win with the crit on Pharaoh. But he goes glide, and it's just like, okay, game's over. Yeah, so he had a crit to win chance. I guess if he might not have been superpower because he was knock actually. Yeah, he probably wasn't. So, that's a wrap. Able to win the game. Yeah, he wasn't superpower if he's knock. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. So I'm gonna take that out, and I'm able to win 1-0. I was more fortunate in this game. He'll be around the bush, but he was using a team that relied on flinching and quick clawing and para and that. So we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. So I'm able to advance to 4-2 in Smilegun Snake Draft. And if you want to see my last 3 games in Smilegun Snake Draft, leave a like and also comment about it because I'll definitely bring you guys those games. I've just been kind of lazy in that front, focusing on DLC 2 content. But yeah, and on top of this, I also played for the OU Seasonal. I'm back using the same team I used for Snake, so I was feeling that team right now. So yeah, Mandion drill action here. I just want to get out of the way because I'm scared of the potential for damage to be taken with foul play. So I don't have Toxic or anything, just Swords Dance. So yeah, I go Moonblast here into Amoongus. It's fine. He sees some Life Orb damage. I go Ferrothorn here. He's almost Rotom Heat. Great play there. I go back to Fail, predicting the Toxic. He goes Nasty Plump. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I just go my Rotom Heat here. I'm fine just taking a +2 Overheat. He didn't want to like take a trick or something. He just wanted to get me out of the way as quick as possible. He went for the Overheat. He goes Plot again as I go for the Pain Split. I'm fine with that. I should leave him a +4, so I'm chill with that for sure. I go for the Nest on my own here. Unless you just find just going for Pain Split here, I figured to go Overheat, so that works out real nicely. I am running out of stamina for this, but yeah, now I'm in range of +2 Overheat probably, so I want to get the hell out of the way. I go Dragapult, so I don't love where this sequence left me, but ultimately it's like it's fine. I go Thunder Wave here, predicting a switch to Mandibuzz or Primarina. I get that, or even a Amoonguss, I guess. I get that either way. I didn't go Drill, so it worked out for me. He's scared of Wisp, so yeah. He does go U-turn though, and he gets his Drill in, which is Mold Breaker, so there's some Mold Breaker Drill action here, which is good. I go Pharaoh here. I'm like, fine, he can Earthquake me if he wants. He goes Rocks. I'm like, okay. He's scared of Body Press, so I just go for Spikes here, I guess. I could have went for Knock, but I didn't really feel a need for it. I go Clef here on an Overheat. I got that right. He was predicting me to stay in. I go Drill. Now I go Drill here, predicting a Volt Switch or a Discharge or whatever he might want to do, or Nasty Plot. So I get that in. That's great. Now I can get my own Rocks up here as he goes to Amoonguss. It's helpful for me a lot. And Ferrothorn is always free on Amoonguss, which is super nice to use that. He goes Spore here, and I actually go this first just because I figured he might go his own Mandibuzz. I wanted to taunt it, but now I know he's not going to do that, so I'm figuring he might be Toxic. He goes Sludge Bomb, just trying to fish for poison. That was fine with me as well. Ferrothorn versus Amoonguss is super favorable, honestly. He goes Mandibuzz. I get a knockoff on it, so I'm like, okay, long haul, this is fine for me. He's going to get the Defog off. It's chill. I go Clef here, and he goes for the Defog. In hindsight, I wish I went for the Life Orb Moonblast here. Would have left him so low, but I soft Blood here just to be safe, and he goes U-turn. I'm like, okay, well played. It's fine. He goes back to the Rotom Heat. I'm like, yeah, he's not going Overheat. He's probably going to go Pain Split, so it's fine. While he does gain a lot because I'm like high HP, I know this is fine for me. I'm able to go for the Rocks. Mandibuzz is back in here. I go Rotom Heat here, and thankfully I get a Paralysis here, which means I get a free Pain Split, which is cool. He just U-turns out of the way. Actually, he defogs first. Okay, that's smart. That's just smart. But now I go Nasty Blood here, and I get a Roost, and he's really threatened here. It's like if I Overheat, it looks really good, but I figure he's not going to go Drill and risk that, so I just go for Discharge, and he paralyzes again. I go for it again, so now I'm up 6-5. Definitely a little fortunate there. He goes Drill. I'm like, okay, he's probably going to go Quake, but I don't really want to risk it being Toxic and Mandibuzz. He goes Quake, and he actually, he crits, so I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. But it's fine. He goes Quake again. I go Spike. I'm figuring this isn't Spin. Probably Toxic or Swords Dance, so Earthquake there, yeah, and I think he Toxics here. Yeah, Toxic here as I just go for the foul play, and it's great. It's worth it. 70% damage, sure. Now, he goes Amoonguss here, and I think I switch out. Yeah, I go Pharaoh, predicting the Amoonguss, and I get the leftovers recovery. So I'm able to help heal off those Earthquakes, which is cool. He goes Rotom Heat here, and I double back to Drill, predicting that. So I get that right, and I'm in a really great spot. At this point, my music's still playing, right? Yeah, okay, it is good. So yeah, I'm able to get that in. I get an Earthquake off an Amoonguss. In hindsight, Stealth Rock was better there, but I was scared of him going for Overheat, predicting that. So I just get the Ferrothorn in again safely. Now I'm all the way back up to almost half health, and after next turn leftovers I will be. But I just go for Spikes, figuring, okay, it's fine. I can let off the pedal a little bit. He goes for a Nasty Plot here, I believe. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. He goes Overheat, and it crits, which is a bit lame, but like I think I just overheated anyway. I just want to get some chip on him. So yeah, it's fine. I can save this now that he's at neutral. I can go Clef. He goes Volt Switch. It's a good play. He goes Drill, but it takes 2 rounds of Spikes, so hazards are starting to accumulate, which is great. I can just go Mandibuzz. As long as he doesn't flinch me out, I'm good. He goes rocks. I'm fine playing with rocks up. It does negate the initial leftovers from Ferrothorn, but that's about all it does. I go foul play. I just chip the road. I'm like, okay, no big deal. I go Dragon Pult here knowing I live in overheat. He goes for it, and he does get 31% overheat off, which is good for him. But now I scare him out with Dragon Dart, so I think I just go for U-turn here. I know this isn't Rocky Helmet, so yeah. Able to bring in the Rotom Heat here and get a Pain Split off, which is amazing. I think I actually called a Drill on overheat at this point. Do I do that? Please tell me I did that right. That was the right play. I did the right play. Okay, good. So now I'm up 6-4, and his team's getting weakened, but he does have Zam, which is a pretty big threat to my team. Thankfully, again, he's not Rocky Helmet because I have Dragapult to just revenge kill it every single time. It does outrun it, so yeah. I get the U-turn off there. Ferrothorn can come in here now. And Ferrothorn, I guess, can maybe double to... Do I double drill here? I feel like that was the play. Yeah, I do double drill. Okay, good. We'll take that out now with Earthquake. I really threaten everything with Earthquake. I can eventually go Rocks as well if I want. He goes Amoonguss, though. I think I go Stealth Rock here, and now I'm like, okay, I find... Do I go Pharaoh? I actually went Rocks in the switch. Oh, sorry. Oh, I called the Rotom, and I Earthquake. Yeah. So I went Rocks, and I called the Rotom, I Earthquake. He goes Alakazam. I actually have a chance of living a non-Life Orb Psychic, but after that Focus Blast jump, I always Life Orb. So, yeah, I didn't want to risk Drill at that point. So now I let Fable go. I go Pult, and now he goes Amoonguss. Chill with me. I can just go U-turn here, and U-turn is going to put him pretty low. I go Ferrothorn, so again, it just sits there and just heals off of Amoonguss, which is amazing. Excuse me. Lack of pin power on Amoonguss sucks for it. I get the knockoff on it, which is cool. That's going to leave it even lower. And now I just kind of spam knock, I guess. I think eventually I go for Thunder Wave or Spike. Yeah, I go knock here. I think here I go Thunder Wave. Next turn I go knock, and he goes Zam. As he's just trying to Giga Drain as much as he can away, but it's not out damaging leftovers, obviously. So, yeah, this is helpful. I think, yeah, I Spike there. Then I Thunder Wave here, and now I think I start spamming Knock again, and I catch the Alakazam on the switch here, and it takes it out in one hit, which is amazing. Get that Life Orb off, kill it, yeah, so now it's 3-2, and he just can't kill Ferrothorn. Marina comes in, but yeah, after missing a couple Power Whips, as you'll see here, 1, 2, 3, I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, I've got Lumberry anyways. I don't actually have Lumberry, but he didn't burn me, so it's like no big deal, so I get the Power Whip off, and that's the game. So yeah, I'm able to hit the Power Whips, and Vanquish. I let this go and I just win the game with Drill here. Yeah, okay, great. And that's that. So yeah, I'm able to win in 69 turns, 3-0. Yeah, all right. So then for game 2, because it's a best of 3, I'm back to using the Hyper Offense. He's using Hyper Offense as well. But I'm like, okay, this is probably fine. I got priority. I lead Volk here because again, everyone's weak to Volk. He just goes for Toxic turn 1, which I find funny. I'm like over under 20 turns. He's like under. I'm like, bet. Okay, let's go. So I break down Sash down there, and I'm like, okay, he might go Dragon. So I get that Bug Buzz there. He goes to his own Volk, and I guess he's like wants to trade. I don't know. It didn't really have much to 1v1 me, so I'm chill with that, to be honest. I get a Fiery Dance off there, and then he goes for Fiery Dance, and we're just kind of trading at this point. It's fine with me. Yeah, so I'm able to get one trade with Volk, basically. He goes Dragon at that point. I went Rillaboom, and then I switched out to the Azumarill. I get a Play Rough off. This is the type of game where Azumarill is just threatening outright. You don't really need the damage, if you will, from the Belladrum. You just try and threaten him, so I do that. And then I go to the Magnezone here. Grassy Gladiator, he's going to try and Superpower to take me out, but he doesn't actually get the opportunity to do so because I'm Scarf. So yeah, now I'm fine trading damage to put the Hawlucha in range. I do 74, which is a ton. It's probably got like no HP EVs, so that puts it in priority range. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, I can't lose this game. That's great. So yeah, I'm in the driver's seat here. I'm feeling good. And now Aquajet takes that out, of course. He goes Dragon. I'm like, okay, Play Rough. You're just trying to bait misses at this point. It was the right play. Aquajet to Zero Aura. Grassy Glide takes it out after Life Orb and Jet damage. And that's that. So yeah, I'm able to clean sweep today. 10-0 in tournament games. Used some really cool teams. The Hyper Offense here. The team I used in Snake here. The B-Heat team here. And the ABR team here. Just those kind of 4 teams carried me through today. I think I played pretty well. You guys kind of got a sense of what's going on in the meta game, what's being used in tournaments. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't use Slowbro-Galar, kids. It gives everyone a headache, myself included. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. If you want more videos like this where I just go through a whole slew of tournament games I played, let me know. If you want other types of Metagame Monday, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day. All right, guys. Peace out.